Hi everyone, it's me, Misty. Do I sound different? New year, new me. Kidding. My TMJ pain has become severe, and because of it, I'm not able to speak clearly. I didn't want to have to skip an episode, so I thought we could test out some AI text-to-speech generators. I've used this one before for short sentences, like the intro for the Christmas episode. In today's episode, we're going to talk about New Year's resolutions. Octo, unfortunately, has COVID, so this is a solo mini episode. I personally don't believe in resolutions specifically. I feel like the problem with it is that they tend to be too specific, or it feels like it needs to be done right away and will continually get pushed until I just give up on it altogether. What I like to do instead is simply set intentions in my head. Occasionally I will write them out, but I like to just do them in my head, so there's not another physical list I feel like I need to check off. If it's in my head, it somehow has less pressure. Maybe because it could easily be forgotten, ha 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 ha. I do sometimes set specific goals, but most of the time I try to keep it very broad and attainable, so I'm not disappointed in myself by the end of the year. The last time I set a really big exciting goal. It was go to tons of conventions and enter every cosplay contest possible. This is going to be my year to kick ass at cosplay, make a bunch of new friends at conventions, and maybe even win a cosplay contest. The year was 2020. Oh wait, no, sorry, we're going to have a global pandemic instead, thanks for playing. That was the first time in years I made a very specific goal/resolution. So yeah, I'm done with that. The universe won't allow it. I do have a bit of a list for my intentions this year though. This year is where I focus on myself. I have neglected myself for way too long and I plan to change that. Going for so many years, recently working either low-paying jobs or having no work at all has led me to severely neglecting my physical and mental health. My main goal right now is just to be in less pain. I have a pretty high pain tolerance, but when everything hurts all at the same time and there's no relief in sight, it can become pretty unbearable, which takes a hefty toll on my mental health. Chronic pain is something I've been living with for nearly 2 decades now. Wow, I did not realize it has been that long since the car accident that changed my life and physical abilities. I absolutely hate having limited abilities, and I'm sure everyone that does probably feels the same, even though we accept and deal with it. We can be positive about it all we want, which is great, but at times it can be extremely frustrating. For those of you fully abled humans, think about any time that you've struggled doing something, even something simple, like trying to open a difficult jar lid and you couldn't get it the first try. Or carrying something so heavy that you get steps away from where you need to bring it, and your body feels like you can't quite get there without having to rest. That feeling of inability right there is the frustrated feeling I'm talking about. You think to yourself, really, but I'm so close. That's my life most of the time. So close, but not quite. Is anyone familiar with the spoon theory? Should I give a tidbit for those who are unaware of it? Spoon theory was invented by Christine Miserandino, who has lupus. It was her way of explaining to her best friend how living with a chronic illness limits your energy and in turn your ability to do things. Spoons are used to indicate the amount of energy a task uses up. Let me give a simple example. Bear in mind, every person is different, so each person has to choose the amount of spoons that get used for each task based on how their own body is affected. You start the day with 12 spoons, assuming you slept fine and woke up feeling all right. Getting out of bed and figuring out your clothes for the day, take 1 spoon away. Next you take a shower and brush your teeth, so you take 2 spoons away. Now you go to work. Depending on how far you live, you may need to take spoons away for the drive as well. But my drive is easy, so we'll only take away 4 spoons for a regular work day. We currently have 5 spoons left. After getting home, it's time to make and eat a meal, so that's 3 spoons. I now only have 2 spoons left, so that pretty much means I'm going to use 1 spoon to watch a TV show, podcast, or movie, and my last one to get ready for bed. Do I still have a list of groceries I need to go to the store and get? Yes, but I don't have the energy left to be able to drive all the way to the store. That's 1 to 2 spoons depending on the store. 3 if it's Walmart, because Walmart is automatically exhausting, and I think most people can agree on that. If you have more than 3 items, then that's 4 spoons for the shopping, 2 to 3 spoons to bring the groceries in and put them away. There's just not enough spoons in the day. I have to make a choice. What's the most important thing today? Take a shower or get groceries? I save my shopping trips for my day off most of the time because I am drained after work most days. And that's on a day where you wake up feeling decent. If you wake up feeling crappy, you didn't get enough sleep or you're having a pain flare, or woke up with a headache or you're sick, you automatically start the day off with less spoons. So you can see how on bad days you can run out of energy quite fast. And it gets worse the more consecutive bad days you have. I hope this information helps you understand yourself or someone you know with a chronic illness a bit better. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments, or if you just want to start a conversation about spoon theory, chronic illness, or New Year's resolutions, don't hesitate to leave a comment. We're always happy to get chatty with you.
Are there any spoonies out there?
Okay, my list of intentions for 2024. My goal is simply to take real care of myself this year. First thing I intend to do is figure out how to lessen my TMJ pain and eventually stop it completely. I have some appointments already set up with specialists I'm going to see this month. So hopefully they will be able to help me without going to the extreme of getting Botox into my TMJ muscles. But honestly, at this point, with the amount of pain I'm in, I'm coming around to the idea of trying it temporarily while we figure out how to fix it long term. I hate not being able to speak normally, not to mention the pain laughter causes, and I just simply cannot live without laughter in my life. That's not an option.
Does anyone else suffer from TMJ pain?
Other physical problems I'm looking to find relief for are number 1, the pain in my shoulder. The doctors keep telling me there's nothing wrong. Nothing is showing up on the scans, but I'm still in pain, so that makes no sense. I'm going to have some additional scans done, as well as talk to my chiropractor about it and see what he says. Number 2, I would also like to try physical therapy for my back problems caused by the car accident. I was young and naive when it happened, and years down the line, when the option came up, I didn't believe it would help, since by then it was an old injury, but I've recently seen someone have success with an old injury doing physical therapy. So I've completely changed my mind and am now open to giving it a try, hoping it will help in any way. Another thing I'm interested in trying is acupuncture. I'm slightly scared of needles, which I know is ironic given how many tattoos I have and how I have to watch any time I give blood, but I've always been too afraid to try it. I've recently decided to just be brave and give it a chance. I was told by the receptionist that it isn't always something that makes a difference right away. Like anything, it will need to be repeated to feel relief. And it doesn't always work for everyone, so I'm going in with realistic expectations. I'm willing to give it a chance. Anything I can do to prevent adding any medications to my regimen is worth trying at this point. I am already on a few medications that I have to take regularly, and I don't want to add to that if I don't have to.
If you've tried acupuncture, please tell us your opinion on it in the comments.
Beyond physical health, I want to also work on my mental health. My mental health isn't what I would call terrible. It has definitely been worse in the past. I guess I would say, on a scale of 1 being the worst to 5 being the best, I'm at a 3. I'd like to be at a 4 or 4.5. 5 for some reason just seems unrealistic, but it would be nice to get there eventually. I know that I have a lot of unprocessed trauma from my past I need to deal with that I've continually buried. I know that your body also holds onto trauma, and that could also be a cause of my physical health declining. I know I need to figure out how to deal with stress better. And I'm always learning new ways to help with my ADHD, which will be a lifelong journey. I hope that all of our tips and tricks help you in your journeys, and we love to hear yours as well. There is no one way or one-size-fits-all plan on how to handle ADHD. Some things work for some people more than others. We can share what we know works well for us, as well as things we've heard work well for others.
Do you have any health goals?
We're not doing segments this episode, but I do have a new ADHD tip I'd like to share. This may help those of you like me who have to take medication twice a day actually remember to do so. So I recently had 2 medications added to my regimen that I have to take at night now, and I already take 2 in the morning. So this was a bit of a struggle at first for me, but I've come up with 2 possible solutions that have worked for me. Firstly, for me personally, I know that I always start my day sitting at my desk first thing in the morning and last thing before bed at night. It's where I put my shoes on before I leave for work and where I usually end my evenings, because I like to wind down before I go to bed by watching a podcast or show. Another good spot is the bathroom. If you can put your medication where your toothbrush is located, that is the best spot, along with a bottle of water. So you can take your meds before you brush your teeth in the morning and before you go to bed. That was what I used to do in my old place when I had my own bathroom and knew my things wouldn't get moved. Now I keep them at my desk. Option 1. I used 2 small open containers to put the pill bottles in, and I would make sure to leave one of the containers in front of my keyboard so I knew that was what I needed to take next. For example, before I go to sleep at night, I put the morning box along with my deodorant and lip balm in front of my keyboard, next to my glasses, so I see them right when I sit down to put my shoes on. After I take my morning pills, I put the box away and grab the nighttime box and put it next to my keyboard. I know I'll be using my keyboard when I get home, so I leave it next to it, instead of in front. That way it's still in view, and I won't forget to take them when I get ready for bed. Also, setting an alarm to take your pills, in case you forget, can be super helpful. Option 2 works just as well as option 1, but is a little more involved. You can buy pill containers that have different sections for day, lunch, and night pills. But I don't want to waste money when I simply have 2 containers, so I use them both. I then put the container in front of my keyboard, just as I was with the boxes. The most important thing is that it's in plain view. As long as you can see it and your eye is easily drawn to it, you won't forget to take it. Out of sight, out of mind has never rang so true than it does for us ADHDers. My last few intentions are pretty simple. I want to be kinder to myself. I tend to be hard on myself when I don't finish projects or get things done in a certain amount of time, and I'd like to start being kinder to myself and adjust my expectations to better fit my reality. I know that as soon as the excitement of a new project starts to fizzle, I have trouble completing it, and I want to learn to be okay with not finishing projects. I have so many incomplete projects, cosplays, paintings, jewelry. You name it, I've probably started on it and have yet to go back and finish it. I have every intention still to finish these things. I just haven't had a good amount of time to dedicate to them, so it gets discouraging when it's a big project that will take days as opposed to hours. I want to learn to let go of the guilt I have around not completing things and look at it more as an opportunity for creativity in my future. I do want to get back into creating things soon, just need to take care of my physical issues first to be able to do so.
Do you have any creative goals?
I want to get back to responding with positivity. The current job I have has brought me into a less nice mindset when it comes to people, and it frustrates me when I start to feel super negatively towards people. No matter the situation, I want to get back to my optimistic and positive self. I generally always try to give people the benefit of the doubt more often than not, but this job has me getting more negative, and I don't like it. So my goal is to get back to thinking optimistically and responding with positivity. Even when a person may not seem to deserve it, even when they're being rude or when they're angry. I want to continue to be the light in the darkness and no longer let the darkness cast a shadow over me.
Don't let anyone dim your light. Remember, kindness is free, so please be kind to your fellow humans.
I also want to be more consistent with everything. More consistent taking care of my health. More consistent with recording this podcast in a timely manner so I'm not stressing myself out getting it done before the deadline. Because I do that every time, and I'd like to get ahead at least 1 episode so I can have the luxury of not stressing out about editing it on time for it to come out. Of course, I'll have to get better first to be able to do that, but that's the game plan.
What I've learned during this AI text-to-speech experience. AI, as expected, is not perfect. Something unexpected, though, is that it can sometimes stutter or completely skip over words. Because of this, you may have to regenerate a few times and possibly adjust your sentences to fix the issue. It adds pauses at weird moments. It can sometimes enunciate strangely, but for the most part it works pretty well, and I think it was fun to play around with. What do you all think?
What's your favourite part of New Year's Eve? I like that it feels like a fresh start every year. Hope feels like it's in the air, and hope can be a powerful thing. But my favourite part is getting in Discord with my favourite people and streaming the fireworks shows across the globe together. It's so cool to see the variety and creative displays put together in other parts of the world, as well as across the states.
Darling Peas, tell us, do you believe in making resolutions?
What are your resolutions, intentions, or goals, Peabodies? Tell us in the comments.
We would love to hear them.
Maybe this year is the year you also need to take real care of yourself. If so, I hope you do exactly that and stick with it. You deserve to take the time to care for yourself, even if that's simply some self-care time you do for yourself alone at home. Your body and mental state deserve to be cared for. You deserve to indulge in self-love every chance you can get. I believe in you and know you can do whatever you set your mind to. I wish you luck on your journeys, whatever they are, and I hope you find the love for yourself that you deserve.
Thank you, Peas, for hanging out with us while we play around with some AI text-to-speech stuff. I'll link the website in the description below so y'all can play around with it too. We always have a great time making episodes for y'all, and hopefully the next one, I'll be feeling back to at least somewhat normal so we can have a video episode.
We do have a question for all the Peas out there. Do you want more themed episodes? We'll put a simple yes or no poll on Spotify to vote on.
We enjoyed the Halloween and Christmas episodes so much and feel like we should have a couple throughout the year as well, if y'all enjoy it. So let us know in the comments what holidays we should do themed episodes for. Also feel free to ask any questions or suggest a future topic you'd like us to discuss. We want to hear from you.
As always, thanks so much for the love and support, and we can't wait to see your beautiful faces in the next episode. We love you, Peas, and hope you have an incredible year.
Don't forget to vote in the comments for your preferred fan name, Peabodies or Peabuddies.